So following Jenson Button going down to the first corner, Cops. Is he going to get past both Super Guris? No, not quite at the moment. Coming down the hangar straight, I believe this is. Is that an engine failure for Trulli? Button's going to get past now. Surely. So Button's now leading the British Grand Prix, his home race. That's fantastic. So does Schumacher just drive into the back of Clean? Because that's not the first time we've seen Schumacher seemingly deliberately go into someone. Oh, whoa, no, don't tell me Fisichella's got past. Jeez, Fisichella's got past Webber. Okay, so now surely Fisichella's going to get past. Has he? Wow, I thought there was going to be a bit of a coming together then, but now look at this. Coming on to the last lap, look at the train Montero's holding up. How on earth he's been able to hold this train for this long is phenomenal. He's got Alonso in there, Schumacher's in there, Massa's in there. And Jenson Button's going to win his home Grand Prix at Silverstone. A phenomenal drive. Finally he's come back into the spotlight of Formula 1, Fisichella has, but Montagny's going to take second place with Fisichella third.
This is the beautiful city of Montreal and the location of the Canadian Grand Prix. Yes indeed, it's race day in Montreal and we have a 112,000 sellout here at the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. The track itself is a series of very similar sections with long straights, slow corners and heavy braking zones. It's a circuit that requires stability under braking, low drag down the straight and good traction on the exit of the corners, and as always, grid position is critical. Conditions are just about perfect here today. Clear skies and perfect temperatures on and off the track. The forecast is also good and we expect it to stay like this for the whole race.
Okay, so hey guys, and here we are for the 9th race in this 2006 Reverse Grid Race Championship. And if you look at the grid for the Canadian Grand Prix, it's actually quite a normal grid. Well, obviously, apart from the fact it's reversed. And that's because the only oddity is David Coulthard starting on pole position, which obviously in the real life race would have been last. Now, that's because David Coulthard had a engine change after qualifying and that dropped in 10 places and so to the back of the grid, or in this case to the front of the grid. And because of that, and because there's no other oddities in qualifying, I seriously reckon David Coulthard could win this race. He really has a very good shot at it because the nearest big car, in terms of like pace, is Felipe Massa, all the way down in 13th. And look at the traffic he'll have to get through. And the nearest car that's quicker than Coulthard is Webber, who's in 7th, or Ralf Schumacher, who's in 9th. Honestly, loads of cars are going to have to get through a ton of traffic just before they can even start to challenge Coulthard. And in a 20% race, I think he's going to run away with it. You never know, we may see Massa challenge for the win, maybe take second. I reckon Massa is one to look out for taking a podium spot. But also, you got to look at Michael Schumacher. There's also both Renaults who absolutely dominated qualifying in the real life Canadian Grand Prix. They're going to have some blistering pace and they could challenge for a podium. We've seen Alonso come from the back to take a podium before. It wouldn't be new. Now, once this race is done, we've done half of the 2006 season and I thought I'd give you some stats at the moment. So we've done 8 races at the moment and each race has had a different winner. We've had Raikkonen, Barrichello, Massa, Albers, Rosberg, Coulthard, Michael Schumacher and Jenson Button, all as the 8 different winners. We've had 8 different winners in 8 races from 6 different teams. Coulthard, if he wins this race, will be the first repeat winner in this series. Or if Massa wins, he'll be the first repeat winner this series. And amazingly, despite the fact that Alonso tops the Drivers' Championship, he hasn't won a race this season. Several podiums, no wins. And in fact, Renault, who topped the Constructors' Championship, and Sauber, who are second in the Constructors, both haven't won a race. So, that shows you how unimportant race wins are, really. It's more consistency, and Alonso, with his consistent podium finishes, is leading the Drivers' Championship, and with a fairly sizable gap. But Coulthard could take the lead of the Drivers' Championship. If he wins and Alonso has a very bad race, we could see Coulthard lead the Drivers' Championship, and that would be sublime. But anyway, let's head on to the Canadian Grand Prix, my favourite Grand Prix of the season, and let's see how it goes.
You know the drill by now. Here we go. Go, go, go!
Okay, so Montero's got off to a decent start, although he looks like he's going to be taken by Speed in the Toro Rosso. Will Speed make a move? No, he won't, and we're seeing Sato try and make a move on his teammate. That's not going to happen. And Speed has got past both of the Midlands, so Speed has made 2 places in the first complex of corners, so Scott Speed's up into 4th place. What about Mark Webber? He's still holding 7th place, so Webber hasn't been a big gain off the start. We've still got Liuzzi holding the last points place, so it's Liuzzi, Webber, Montero, Albers. Albers trying to make a move on Scott Speed. That hasn't worked. Still got Sato in 3rd. Montagny, should I say, in 2nd place. And then Coulthard already pulled out a sizable gap on both Super Gurus, who, as we know, are painfully slow, especially in terms of straight line speed. And with this track being so straight line speed reliant. Whoa, we got engine failure already. That is for Takuma Sato. I think that's the 3rd engine failure Takuma Sato has had this season. And the 2nd one he's had in the first lap.
Looks as if there's been an incident at turn 10. It's Schumacher! He's out of the race. That's got to be a disappointing result.
Right, amazingly, it's an incident for Michael Schumacher, not Ralf Schumacher. Michael Schumacher's out of the race. What scenes we've had this race. So Coulthard's leading it. Montagny 2nd, Speed 3rd, Webber's up into 4th. Wow, we got past a few cars on the back straight. Albers 5th, Liuzzi 6th, Montero 7th, Heidfeld in 8th. Is he going to get past the Midland and into 7th place? No. Right, we've got to get some replays of what happened at the start, but Heidfeld's just got past the Midland of Montero and into 7th place.
Speed is 3rd.
Right, so here we are on the first lap with Michael Schumacher coming up towards the tight hairpin which leads onto the back straight, and a very crazy first few corners for the back markers. Goes past Takuma Sato. Now he must go into the back of someone. Yes, he goes back into the McLaren of Montoya. Clearly just got caught out by the backlog, because Michael Schumacher isn't normally at the back of packs, and was just caught out by the logjam. Right, so let's have a look at this, because Webber, last time we saw him, was in 7th place, and then I think, come the end of the first lap, he moved up into 4th. So how did this happen? So, yeah, we saw him behind both Midlands, but he somehow got past both of them. Oh, of course he made a place from Sato's engine failure, but Webber still must have got past both Midlands. This must have been on the back straight. Oh no, he gets past Montero going round the hairpin, and then the Williams, which, despite only having the Cosworth engine, unlike the BMW engine they had in previous years, has still got a straight line speed advantage on the Midland, and he's going to get past Christian Albers, and a fairly easy pass down the back straight. We're going to see that happen time and time again this race, I'm sure. So Heidfeld, he's stuck up behind the Toro Rosso and the Midland. Is he going to get past both of them, or is Liuzzi going to get past the Midland actually? So Liuzzi, move it to... Whoa, wow, I thought we were going to see 3 cars head into the Wall of Champions there, but Liuzzi's moved up a place past Albers. Is Heidfeld going to get past Albers as well?
He's out of the race. Unlucky. Klein also got involved.
Hang on, someone's just retired from the race. That was... Okay, we got an incident involving Klein. Right, we'll have to look up what happened there in a second. Heidfeld's still stuck up behind Albers crucially, but Villeneuve did get past Montero, so Jacques Villeneuve at his home race is holding the last points for now. Right, so we're on board with Christian Klein. There he is, he's just been passed by Felipe Massa, and in fact, Klein at this point was surrounded by all of the top teams, so Klein was not in a good point at this moment in time, but he's behind, he's behind Massa and the Williams of Rosberg, and we saw Rosberg go into the pits. So is Klein just rear-end Rosberg? Oh yes, and in quite a big way. So that's why Rosberg went into the pits. But Klein gets no damage from that. Rosberg goes into the pits and I think gets away without retiring. Whoa, is that an engine failure for Scott Speed? Scott Speed's had an engine failure. He's actually held up Mark Webber. But Speed out of an engine failure. That's 2 engine failures for 2 of the bottom teams. That's happened already this race. Well, let's move. Hang on, there's Barrichello in last. Right, he must have got involved in some sort of incident. Coulthard's got a massive gap on Montagny. Webber's in 3rd. Liuzzi 4th. Albers 5th. Heifeld's going to make a move on Albers. So Nick Heidfeld is into 5th place. Now Albers is going to be completely demolished by Jacques Villeneuve in terms of a straight line speed battle. We've seen it happen with Heidfeld. Is Villeneuve going to get past? Not quite at the moment. The next time down the back straight, I'm sure it will happen. And we've got Ralf Schumacher, I believe this is, just getting past Montero. So Ralf Schumacher is now holding the last points place of the race.
Heidfeld is in 5th. Looks like Coulthard is really piling the pressure on here. That last lap time was a 1:14.1. It's quite a significant lead he's building up over E-Day. The gap is now up around the 12-second mark. Of 1 place.
Heidfeld actually has got past Albers. We'll have to look at what happened there. And have I missed something? Because last time I saw, Clean wasn't the last points, it was Ralf Schumacher, so Oh, whoa, hang on. That was Liuzzi who's had an engine failure. That's why Clean's in the last points, because Liuzzi, out of nowhere, retired with an engine failure. What's gutting for Liuzzi? He was almost challenging for a podium. And that's another engine failure for Liuzzi. I believe that's the 4th retirement he's had this season. That's only a 50% finish rate this season. Okay, so Webber is really putting the pressure on Montagny, and if Webber doesn't get past soon, he's going to come under pressure from Nick Heidfeld. And really, this is Webber's best opportunity all race. And if he doesn't get past now, just about has. I think that shows the poor straight line speed that Williams has. He only just got past Montagny. We've seen other cars fly past Montagny. Wow. But at the moment, did Villeneuve get past Albers? I believe Villeneuve did. We'll have to look at how that happened. And then Clean's still holding the last points. Fisichella, though, is right on the bubble of points finishes and so of points places, and so is Montoya, so we've got to watch out for that. Okay, so surely this is where it happened. So this is where Villeneuve, when I wasn't looking, this is when Villeneuve finally got past Christian Albers and into 5th place, I believe that is, for Jacques Villeneuve. So let's have a look. It's just a simple straight line speed manoeuvre, and bam, easy move for Villeneuve. And Villeneuve at his home race is in 5th place. Right, we've got absolutely non-stop action here. Just time and time again we're seeing overtakes happen down this back straight. I expected it to happen, and it's going to happen again. Nick Heidfeld is going to take the final podium place from Frank Montagny. And Nick Heidfeld, yep, he's in 3rd place, so Montagny is out of the podium places. And actually the top 3 are quite secure from anyone else. Villeneuve's away behind. And there's Ralf Schumacher getting past Albers. And also, crucially, no, Clean is actually defended from Fisichella. No, not quite. Fisichella has got past Clean, and that just shows the dominance Renault have. Although Clean's made the move back past Fisichella. But then again, Fisichella has the inside line for turn 2, and Fisichella's in the final points place right up by Albers. Ralf Schumacher's in 6th, Villeneuve in 5th. Right, so coming on to the start-finish straight, this is going to be the easiest overtake we've seen all race. Fisichella getting past Albers is going to be an easy move for Fisichella. But having said that, it's only just happened. And, wow, we almost saw Albers just pummel Clean into the Wall of Champions. Hasn't quite happened, but Montoya is still in 10th place. He's been in 10th place for a while. I mean, so much so that Button's caught up, so, you know, Montoya's going to want to get a move on soon, and in fact, Button has got past Montoya, so Button is now holding 10th place, although Montoya's got the drive on Button. Okay, so that was just a temporary move there. Montoya is now still in 10th place, and there's his teammate Raikkonen actually in 12th, and the World Championship leader for the moment, Alonso, in 13th.
As the race enters the final few laps, the gap in front of Heidfeld is getting smaller. I just wonder if he's got enough time to catch the guy in front. Webber is under pressure. The gap is now 1.6 seconds.
Right, okay, so we just saw that commentary line from Martin there, and Klein is going to get past Albers just after Martin said that. He should be focusing on this battle. This is the more interesting battle, but Klein is now holding the last points place. It's a double points finish at the moment for Red Bull. Is Montoya going to get past? No, Montoya is still in 10th place.
Heidfeld continues.
Right, so many overtakes are poised to happen right here, right now. Is Villeneuve going to get past Montagny and into 4th place? Yes, he... How has Montagny done that? He's defended the place. Fisichella did get past Ralf Schumacher when we weren't looking. What about Montoya? Yes, he got past Albers when we weren't looking as well. Jeez. Because I'm watching out for Villeneuve, but Villeneuve is proving that he really wasn't that quick. Once he won that first World Championship, he really dropped off the pace, especially in his latter years, and he's proving that here because Heidfeld's put out such a gap on him, and it's clear that Heidfeld is such a quicker driver than Villeneuve is.
It looks like Webber has things under control now. He was once again quicker through that last sector. He's extended the gap by another 1/10 of a second. It's the final lap, brilliant drive from Coulthard.
Right, okay, coming on to the back straight, and Coulthard's about to win the race, so we're going to have to watch Coulthard when he crosses the line, but we got the second to last chance of Villeneuve to move up into 4th place, past the Super Guri of Montagny. Has he done it this time? Just about, wow. And Fisichella is now in a Japanese car sandwich of a Super Guri and a Toyota of Ralf Schumacher and Montagny. Fisichella, is he going to get into 5th place? Yes, he is, but with Villeneuve and Heidfeld both ahead of Fisichella, I think BMW Sauber are going to take the lead of the Constructors' Championship because Alonso's not in the points. Klein's holding the last points, actually. And Montoya still hasn't been able to sneak into the points places. And Coulthard, dominant drive for him. We didn't expect anything else because he had no traffic around him for the entire race. It was that engine change after qualifying that docked him 10 places. He had no one in front of him, not even a Super Guri, and so Coulthard has been able to run away with this, and Coulthard is going to win the 2006 Canadian Grand Prix.
Coulthard crosses the line and earns a well-deserved 10 points.
Okay, so who's going to take second? We've seen a bit of a battle between Webber and Heidfeld, but it hasn't really turned into anything major. Mark Webber is going to take 2nd place at the Canadian Grand Prix, and Nick Heidfeld is going to take 3rd, so Webber crosses the line for 2nd, and Nick Heidfeld for 3rd. So Fisichella's got past Villeneuve and we weren't looking. Jeez, Fisichella is now into 4th. He's got past Villeneuve, so Fisichella's in 4th. Villeneuve 5th, Ralf Schumacher 6th, Klein 7th, because Montagny's dropped so many places, but is still just about in the last points place. Montoya 9th, and Montagny dropped so many places in that last lap. He dropped places to Ralf Schumacher and Klein, but just about was able to take the last points. Well, a 20-second finishing lead for David Coulthard. Dominant drive for him. He had an easy job. He had no one in front of him. He had a reasonably quick car, and boy did he make good use of it, with a Ferrari engine as well. And because of that, he's the first repeat winner in this reverse grid race series, so David Coulthard, congrats to him there. But what I think was astonishing was the amount of engine failures for cars that started near the front. Takuma Sato, and specifically Liuzzi, who's retired 4 of the past 9 races now. It's insane how many races Liuzzi and Takuma Sato, they've both had quite poor reliability this season, and who knows what the race results would have been if they both survived the entire race, especially if Liuzzi survived. Right, so moving on to the championship standings at the halfway mark with the 9 of the 18 races, and as it stands, David Coulthard is leading the Drivers' Championship. That race win today and him winning 2 races this season, 29 points. Only 1 point ahead of Nick Heidfeld, who finished 3rd this race, so the championship battle is certainly heating up. Heidfeld, Coulthard, and we still got Alonso to worry about, so at the moment it's definitely looking like a 3-horse race at least. One important thing to note though is that E-Day, who obviously took part in only the first 4 races, has finally dropped to the bottom in the driver's standings. Clean and Ralf Schumacher, who were both last and second to last respectively, have overtaken E-Day, so Clean is now in third to last and Ralf Schumacher in second to last. Anyway, moving on to constructor standings, and still the top 2 constructors both haven't seen a race win so far this season, but Sauber have overtaken Renault, so Sauber are now top in the constructor standings, with Renault in second, and Ferrari, despite not scoring any points this race, are still holding third but are dropping behind Renault and Sauber very quickly. The real big move in the constructor standings is Red Bull, who started this race in 7th place in the constructor standings and are now in 4th, and that's thanks to David Coulthard's win and Klee in 7th place. 12 points of Red Bull here, phenomenal. But anyway guys, I know I did a straw poll at the end of the first race asking you guys who you reckon is going to win the drivers and constructor standings. I want you guys to leave in the comments your updated views on who you reckon is going to win the drivers and constructor standings. Do you reckon Alonso, Heidfeld, Coulthard, or maybe one of the outsiders? Because really, as we've seen this season, consistency is important, not race wins. I mean look, Alonso hasn't won any, neither's Heidfeld. Sure, Coulthard's won 2, but he's the exception there. What about the constructors? That definitely looks like a 2-horse race, but again, both of those constructors haven't won a race. But do you reckon Red Bull, Ferrari, any of the other teams, do you reckon they could go on a winning streak, or maybe just have a lot of good consistency from both of their drivers and overtake them? And I'll see you guys for the American Grand Prix. I had a very interesting 2005 race. I'm sure looking forward to doing that in the Reverse Grid Race series at some point. But the 2006 race was a relatively normal race, at least all the teams participated, so I'm looking forward to a 22 car race at Indianapolis next time. So I'll see you then.